It's here, surely the most awaited Japanese album in memory. The other one, by BABYMETAL, has come out, but on midnight they also gave us the lyric video for Mirror Mirror, and boy oh boy, before we even get started on a track by track review of the album, we've got plenty to break down with this one, so let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to Japan, where, like I say, we've got a full version of Mirror Mirror come out. I know the whole album's come out, but this full version released onto YouTube at midnight, and you know what, it's given me so much more than I expected to talk about straight away. And the reason being is because coming up to the release of the album, we've been talking about all the various singles, reviewing them one at a time as they came out, and we got listens to the various tracks. And what I'd said so far is that the tracks had been really great, but they were all kind of done in that very sort of, you know, not doing anything particularly risky, particularly out there, just BABYMETAL taking their core sound, the thing that makes them successful, gives them hits, and really refining that into a sort of a production line of really great but very core sound songs. So I was kind of looking forward to the bit where we got the indication for why this was a concept album, at least in the traditional sense. Where's the experimentation going to come in? And boy oh boy, Mirror Mirror has taken that line of really efficient and likeable songs and added something to it which is not just a good hit single, but is also a lot to get your ears into. So let's start breaking it down. As always, let's begin by talking about structure, and structurally this song is really interesting. Now what it basically does is it takes a lot of different sections and puts them together. This is a technique I really enjoy, but some bands get it very wrong. You can end up with songs that sound muddled, disjointed, like they don't really know where they're going. However, this is a much more focused song. I know some people felt that way about Tales of the Destinies. I never felt that. I really like Tales of the Destinies, but this almost feels like a more manageable equivalent, a song that goes through many different things but manages to make them all work and flow together. Now, amongst those things, we have it kicking off with a really hardcore beginning that itself goes through a couple of rhythm changes. We have a pre-chorus that builds things up. We have a chorus that is quite anthemic and much more slow rhythmically. We have breakdowns after the chorus where everything goes quiet and we get that really nice, just very lightly distorted guitar, just give us a couple of notes while everything becomes very spaced out, very atmospheric, almost ethereal. And we have all these kind of breakdowns that give it so much going on in this song. There's so much going on here that you almost lose sight of the fact that actually this song only has two choruses. It's not your contemporary verse, chorus, bridge, chorus kind of thing, because there's so much going on that it doesn't even need that. It just goes through its whole build up to a chorus, post-chorus, does that twice, and we're out at nearly 4 minutes. Yes, 4 minutes, perhaps a little bit short for a BABYMETAL song, but longer than a lot of contemporary songs you probably hear on the radio. Definitely a good length single, and as far as I'm concerned, this 4 minutes of a song feels like 2 minutes. It flies by, it's constantly engaging, and that is what makes it so great. Well, that's the first thing at least. Now, the second point is really just how effective each of these individual segments is. See, this is a song that doesn't just flow by well, but it also manages to really have impact. It stays in your head with various things, and I get the feeling for different people who like different sounds, they're going to find a part of this song which will be the refrain for them, the bit they're excited to come back round to. With any particularly good song, you get that part where you're excited for it to usually come back round, usually being the chorus, the refrain, the bit which you go through all the craziness to get back to and rejoice. Now, if you're a heavy fan, you're going to be really excited every time that heavy bit comes back in after you get the slow, and then bam, in comes the heavy, and you're going to want to rock along. If you're someone who likes big choruses, this might not be the catchiest BABYMETAL chorus ever, but that's a very high bar to cross. It's still a real earworm that is running around in my head right now while I'm talking to you. And on top of that, you've got the nice spaced out ethereal bit, like I say, which is kind of in itself a rather interesting addition to the BABYMETAL catalogue. It's one of those things that we don't often hear in their sound, something that sparse. So there are these bits that any part of it can be the bit that you feel like you're excited for it to come back round to, that everything else is a journey that it builds up to. Or you could just enjoy all of them and the entire thing could be a constant list of rewarding little soundscapes that follow on from each other perfectly. So it's not just that it flows well, but that each individual segment has its own value. They're not just passages onto the next part, but they're all interesting little musical ideas that occur at their own time in the arrangement. Now next, of course, we have to give credit to the vocals, which might seem like a very innate thing in a baby metal song, good vocals. However, I think it's really important to mention here, because yes, so far I've been gushing about the writing, as is usually my thing to focus on. It must be said though that although this is not a song that's particularly pushing Su's voice into a whole different level, or Moa's for that matter, it's the fact that it uses the vocals quite nicely here. We get those long held notes that give us the big chorus and also give us a chance to hear Su's voice being used properly, but we also get that little chanted bit, which I must admit, as of yet, I still don't know what they're saying. Silence something and then bubble mirror. However, that call and answer repeat bit, I like it. Sorry about my hashing it then, but hey, you get what I mean. I like that bit. It's a nice bit where we get to hear some interplay between their vocals. The fact that Moa's being used in this as well, where sometimes she's kind of sidelined, I do still like the fact that she's got something to do here where she's complementing. The fact that it feels like a song that needs two vocalists rather than one is a big part of it, but the fact that it also uses Su's vocals as well. It's not just showing off her voice for the sake of it, giving her big notes for the sake of it, but using the dynamic range of what she can do, more rhythmically I would say than pitch based, but there is just a lot of interesting stuff going on here that allows us to enjoy the performance of baby metal as the two ladies who are baby metal, rather than just enjoying the musical side of it from the band and from the instruments. We really get to focus in on baby metal as the duet that they are and enjoy their vocal performances here, which are front and centre to driving along the whole core fun, energy and variation of the song. So it's conclusion time, and usually I would just talk about this song in the context of my excitement about the new album and how I feel it's going to be placed alongside all the songs that are going to be on there, but the truth is that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go listen to the album, start reviewing it so I can do a track by track review of all the songs, of course all the songs we haven't already reviewed, and then review the album as a total. We're really going to get into the depths of things, but first of all, having listened to Mirror Mirror, it's got me really excited. I was already excited for this album, and as I say, I can't think of an album that people have been more excited for than this one. However, do you know what? The nice thing that Mirror's given me just seconds before I finish this review, okay, I have to edit it, but then go and listen to the album, it's kind of given me the excitement of hearing something that was just that little bit more mad. Something that gives me a lot of hope for the fact that what I'm going to hear is not just going to be admittedly an awesome array of very efficient songs, but also a little bit of that crazy diverse writing that makes baby metal stand out as more than just a hit machine, but also as a group who uses their skill and talents as musicians, singers, performers, and a group with some great writing stuff to produce songs that are different, to be something more than just another metal act, to be something truly unique and irreplaceable. This is one of those songs that isn't just a hit, it's a song that makes you feel like, yeah, there's only one baby metal. So I'm going to go and check out the other one, by the one, baby metal, because we're the one. That got confusing really quick. Get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. But now, ciao ciao.